Hi, this is The Greatest Story Ever Played. I'm Dan.
I'm Jordan.
And today we're doing the 4th Greatest Story Ever Played Awards, which is kind of crazy. Another milestone, I guess it feels like. Crazy that we've done this 3 other times.
I know. It's kind of become hard to... I had a lot of trouble figuring out what games I played this year. Because we've played a lot of games. And then, it's just hard to remember when the year started. We'll get into it, but there's a couple of games I thought I'd play this year, and then I had to look back and didn't play them, so they didn't fit for this year.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad.
Yeah, no, that's true. It is funny keeping track, especially because I feel like sometimes we'll play a game that, showed up on one of your lists like this before, and then I'm like, all right, I gotta play this game too. Mm-hmm. And then we'll play it, so it might be new for me, but you played it a year ago or something. I feel like that happens sometimes too.
That happened on this list too for me, actually.
Yeah.
This time.
Yeah. So, kind of funny how that will work. But I do the same thing. I'm glad I can just go look back at the feed and I'm like, all right, what did I play this year?
Yeah.
But before we get into our spiel there, we did have 2 kind of things off top that we wanted to hit up. The first one being is we got a review on Apple Podcast. And it says here, very in-depth and chill. These guys are very cool. They go more in-depth over games than any other podcast I've listened to. They really go beat for beat. They rarely skip over anything, which is very rare because so many podcasts are afraid to be long. If you want a podcast dedicated to story-driven games, look no further. And this is from Evan's Boy in the Wall on Apple from a few days ago, or a week ago or something. But anyway, thank you so much. We super appreciate that. That's super kind to take time to review it and throw that out there, so thank you.
Yeah, we definitely really appreciate that. Yeah, and if it helps other people find our podcast too, we're obviously always down for that. Mm-hmm. We'd love the good feedback. For sure. And negative too, I guess. If there's things we could do better, we're open to that as well.
Yeah, totally. Also, when I first saw this, I was like, on point. Very in-depth and chill. I was like, yeah, those are probably 2 of the words I'd use to describe the podcast. It's like we do go fairly deep and
not too out there with.
Yeah, not usually too outrageous or anything.
Yeah, so. We don't make crazy claims.
Yeah,
maybe sometimes, but I can't think of one.
Yeah, not normal vibe at least. If it happens, it's not the norm kind of thing. So, but I thought that was cool. Again, thank you. If you wanna leave a review, also we'd super appreciate that. But also. Yeah, it is just helpful, like Jordan mentioned, to be able to sort of spread the word or that other people could enjoy games with us. I feel like that's one of the things that's really fun about this podcast in general. And really, especially about this episode now, is getting to engage with what other people think. This one is super listener engagement based. I think that if people didn't write in, this episode would still be enjoyable, but people writing in definitely makes it bigger and cooler and more enjoyable.
Makes it a lot longer too.
yeah, and it gets longer.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
2 or 3 times longer.
I think it would be a bit shorter without that. So, pretty cool. But yeah, again, thank you. That was our first thing. Second thing off top is wanted to say thank you to Nick for joining our Patreon. Super appreciate you supporting the podcast financially. If that's something that you'd be interested to join, like Nick did, you can do that at patreon.com/TheGreatestStoryEverPlayed. There, for as little as $1 per month, that will get you access to monthly bonus episodes. We do. I think now there's nearly 30 on there. So,
wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, so there's a lot to listen to if you want more.
If you like hearing us talk, then that's
there's quite a bit more. And those are all topical in nature. So actually, they're probably a little bit more like this episode where, sometimes we'll rank things like a lot of Life is Strange episodes or talk about our favorite board games or
characters and I don't know. Did we do characters in Life is Strange? Or we did characters in general.
I think we've done characters in general, and I think we've done Telltale Walking Dead characters too.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So there's quite a bit on there. On our website too, actually, there's a blog post on there that has a list of all the episode titles. So if you want to look through and see if there's stuff that interests you, you can check that out before you even sign up. But if you'd sign up, we'd super appreciate that. Money just goes into being able to pay for the podcast and hosting and stuff. And I don't know, someday hopefully buy games with it.
Yeah,
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, if enough people give us money, we will buy games with it.
Yep.
But that'd be super cool. But again, thank you, Nick. And if anyone wants to do that, we'd super appreciate that as well.
Yeah, I think we need to update our Patreon because I think it still says on there the most you can give, whatever, is to buy me a PS4. Is this still on there?
I think you're right.
No, I have a PS5, so I don't
yeah,
need
that's
a
true.
PS4.
I think that we had some tiers. We had a big tier that was like $500 or $400 or something to buy a PlayStation. But you have a PlayStation, and we both have Switches, so we don't really need that. Yep. We should update that. Because there's not really a console we want and don't have at this point.
A gaming PC.
That's
I would never ask someone to give me. Yeah, I mean, I guess I would, but I feel really bad taking it.
Could you give me a gamer rig?
Yeah, give me $1,200 to $1,500. Yeah,
that'd be wild.
That'd be nuts.
That'd be insane. Yeah, I should take that down. Good call. Obviously, no one's given those amounts before.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. They're a lot of money.
Yeah, I would never give anyone that much money, probably.
No, I think I'd have to have a lot more money than I have now.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
I can't afford
maybe
that.
someone does.
Yeah.
And if they want to. The other one I think that's on there that is a lot is maybe like $50 or $100 one time. Maybe
one time, yeah.
One time, and then you can choose a game we'd play.
Yeah.
And we'd have a right to refuse, but I think we'd really not do that.
I don't know what
unless
game
it
I'd
was,
refuse.
Yeah, I think it'd have to be pretty weird or something.
I can think of a couple. Well, not a couple of genres.
Yeah, but that's never come up either. But I guess if you want to prompt that, that is on there as well. But main thing is if you just give $1 or more, that gets you bonus. That gets you access to those 30 episodes or whatever. So. Yeah. But anyway, that's all our preamble. We'll get into our awards, so to speak. One note off top that I think is important is we're not going to spoil anything in these games, so you don't have to worry when we talk about like our favorite game. We'll be like, oh yeah, this twist, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
we're not going to do that. You have no worries about that. I know sometimes when I go to end of the year things to listen to, I get a little worried they're going to be like, man, I can't believe this big plot point, and I'm like, well, I wanted to know that. Yeah. I'm not, like learning it itself. I didn't want to know that in that article.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about us doing that. We won't spoil anything in that regard. And then the way the episode is basically structured is we're going to answer 3 questions. The first one being what's our favorite game that we played for the first time. So that is, it could be a new game. It could be an old game. It's new to us right now.
Mm-hmm. And these are all games we've podcasted on too, right?
Yes.
Okay. At least the list is.
Yeah. And then there'll be another section that's like favorite game that was released this year. Mm-hmm. And then last, looking forward, what's the thing we're most excited about next year. So that's sort of the structure we'll use as we go through here. And we've got quite a bit of listener feedback along the way too. So we'll get to hear what all of you are excited about too.
Yep.
So with this, I guess, favorite game played for the first time this year. How about you go?
Cool. So we'll go 3 to 1. Obviously it's top 3. So number 3 for me is Life is Strange 2 True Colors.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good sequel to, sequel, no. What's the third version of a game?
A trilogy is the third. I guess a trilogy is a 3-part final act. Most recent release. I don't know what I'd call it either. You're right.
Yeah, I thought it was a good kind of like, so I didn't hate Life is Strange 2. But it definitely wasn't my favorite. It's like it's my least favorite one. So I thought this game was a good kind of throwback to some of the stuff I really liked about the first game. Mm-hmm. So you're in the same location, all that stuff. So that's not a spoiler. It's just whatever. But I liked it. I thought the characters were really cool. The game itself was really fun. It's be really hard to top Life is Strange 1, but I think it's up there as like pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah, no, totally. I agree. I think it would be hard to top Life is Strange 1 for me as well. But I did really enjoy this game. And I thought it brought back a lot of the enjoyment about the franchise. I think the franchise has been good. Talked about all the games and I like them all. But this one, I think, got closest to the first one for sure.
Yep.
Nice. Mm-hmm. That's a good choice. I think that was maybe even my favorite episode we've podcasted on before. In general.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. It was just really fun kind of digging through that whole thing and, I don't know, talking forever about it.
Yeah, and I think we released it around when it came out, so we got a bunch of feedback too. I think that made it better too, because we got a lot of interaction. I remember that being a super long episode.
Oh, yeah.
What, like over 2 hours probably?
Over 3.
It was, oh my god, that's... Well, all right.
It's our like longest episode by like 40 minutes.
Wow. So we're clearly not afraid to go long.
No.
Based on
No,
there you go.
That was wild.
Yeah.
I never thought something like that would happen, but I really, really enjoyed doing that episode. So I think this is a great choice.
Mm-hmm.
My number 3 is a game called Last Day of June, which I don't think you've probably not played.
I think so.
I did this with I had a guest on for this episode. Shout out Andrew from Games of Groceries, or I mean, Good Game, Great Game. But I really like this game. It's like basically like a walking sim meets a puzzle game. Like it's super basic.
Mm-hmm.
But I found its story really impactful, and it just kind of stuck with me through the year as I've like played different games this year. I've had ones that I'm like, do I like it more than this though? And then this one just kind of hung on through all of that, and I really liked it. It's maybe like 2 hours. It's totally like a good like weekend experience or something like that. Like you could just play in an afternoon, and super worthwhile.
That's awesome.
But yeah, really like that.
Hell yeah! Was it what console? PS5, Switch.
I think it's on both.
Okay.
I played it on PS4.
PS4. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it was before you got the PS5?
Yeah.
Nice.
I played this back in like February or
oh, wow.
something.
So that really stuck with you.
Yeah. Yeah. So
barely made it into 2021.
No, right. Yeah. Yeah. So, the 9 months or whatever after that, I kept kind of comparing the next game I'd play and be like, do I like it more than this or not? And this one just kept hanging on.
That's awesome. Yeah, number 2 for me is Marvel's Spider-Man. So I know this came out back in 2018? 17? Yeah, a while ago. But I got to play it for the first time this year. And it's great. It's probably my favorite superhero game. Yeah, it has to be. I can't really think of many others, so it's got to be the top one because it is a really good game. I think it's one of my favorite, probably top 10 favorite games, maybe top 12, don't know. But it's really good, really well done. We have an episode on this, but one thing that's non-spoilery is the web swinging in this game is so fun. Like, they have a fast travel system, but it's so smooth and seamless to web swing. It's just, like, I don't think I ever fast traveled because this was just so much fun doing it. So if you can make a game where just the objective, most boring part is probably the travel, make that a selling point, like, you probably got a good game on your hands.
Yeah, and for having a reasonably big world, too.
Yeah, it's like all of New York City. Yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't like you made travel easy, but it was because your map was small. It was like you still had a big map, and it was there. Yeah, I agree. This game was great. I think this made my list last year, maybe, for favorites when I played it last year.
Yeah.
But, yeah, fantastic game.
Great characters, great story.
Feel like Spider-Man.
Yeah, literally.
It's super cool. I really like this game as well. I'm glad you got to play it this year. Because once you bought a PS5, you borrowed it from me? Is that right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Yes, that is...
Because, right, you got a PS5 this summer, and so then I started loaning you the different PlayStation games you'd missed.
Yeah.
Which is good, that you got to catch up on a lot of good stuff.
Oh, no. I played it on PS4.
Oh, right, you bought a PS4.
Yeah, I did. Then I got a PS5.
That's right. I forgot.
Then I sold my PS4.
That's right. I forgot that you bought a PS4.
So I played Miles Morales on PS5.
Right. That's right. I forgot that you got the PS4.
I know.
I guess you didn't have it that long.
I had it for about a year, I think. Because I got one for my birthday 2020. And then I got a PS5 for my birthday in 2021. And I sold my PS4 for like $250. So I got like half off the PS5.
That's good.
Yeah, it's great.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah. Out here hustling, you know?
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, Spider-Man's great. Everyone should play it for sure.
Yeah.
Great game. My number 2 is Red Dead Redemption 2, which we just recently talked about.
Last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome game. Really, really great. Big open world.
Huge open world.
Yeah, feels real. Like, characters feel real. The world feels lived in. All that great stuff. You can hear us rave about it a lot, just a couple episodes back. So that'll be there.
Yep.
And yeah, it's fantastic. Totally love it.
Yeah, same. I loved it so much. It's my number 1. So to add to that, yeah, the world feels alive. Like a lot of open world games can feel kind of empty. Like the map, it looks really nice. Like a game could look really nice, but when you're traveling, nothing really happens. But in this game, a bunch of random world events happen like all the time. It feels really immersive. The characters are awesome. We talked about that a lot in our episode. And then the story's maybe the best story I've played in a video game, or top 3 at least.
Yeah.
So it's great. Definitely my favorite game I played this year, and maybe ever. Not sure yet.
No, that'll be cool to see. A couple months down the line, once like the dust has settled, and see where that finally ends up for you. For
sure. It was tough for me between this game and then your number one. So.
Oh yeah. Well, my number one is Ghost of Tsushima, which I guess is kind of the reverse of your Spider-Man. You played that last year, and I actually borrowed it from you this year, and it was great. I totally love that. I think we podcasted about that in the summer this year, and I had a great time with that game. Normally, like when I play a big open world game, which obviously having Red Dead on here, I like them.
It's the biggest.
Yeah, it's big, and I clearly like them. But something that can happen in a lot of those games, right, is there's sort of activities you do that can kind of be monotonous. Like, oh, you raid a base, and you just like keep doing that kind of stuff. In this game, I was all about it. I was like, it's so fun. Your interactions can be, even though you're doing the same thing, it can feel pretty different just because of like how you fight or what weapons you use or what enemies end up being there. I don't know. The gameplay, all of that stuff in this game was super enjoyable on top of having a great story. I think this game would have won like a lot of awards last year if it didn't come out the same year as Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
I think it had the bad luck of having that happen. Like if that would have came out this year, I feel like it would have just torched everything.
Yeah, I feel like not a whole lot came out this year, so
it
would have definitely won Game of the Year. I assume.
Yeah, I think it would. I mean, because it's such a good game. Like I think if someone were to argue, it's like even arguing it's the best PlayStation game, like game that came out on PS4, like that era. I think you could have a good argument. Like,
yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, I would still put Last of Us 2 above it, but like. I could see that argument. I would understand that. It's such a good game.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite games ever, as well. It's really pretty looking. One of the graphics are good, but just the scenery looks really cool, and then the combat's really fun too.
Yeah, it looks great. Side quests are great. I think this might be my favorite game for side quest because I did all of them that your companions gave you, which that's not normally the way I play games. Like, sometimes I do, but this one was rare in that, like, I think you have 3 main companions, or maybe 4.
4.
And
5. 5.
Okay, and they can give you each, like, up to 8 or 9 side quests or something. Like, it's a substantial amount of playing.
Yeah, but each one feels different, too. Like, in each side quest, it's kind of like, it's a sub-story to the main story. So you're not just doing, go collect this from the temple. It's like, here's like part 1 of an 8-part side story. You know, it's pretty well done. Yeah,
they are. And so it doesn't feel like you're like fetch questing. Yeah. Even if you are at times, it doesn't feel that way. Because you're like, okay, well, I want to find out what's next, or I want to get to know this person more, or whatever. So yeah, they really nail this. It's a fantastic game. This one, right when I played it, I was like, this is the best. Like, once we finished playing it, I was like, this is the best game I played this year. Like, I just knew it immediately. Like, that's how... And even as I was playing it, it felt that way. So, yeah, fantastic game. So those are our 3. I did want to give one shout-out that doesn't make my top 3, but I wanted to say it anyway.
Cheater.
Yeah, I know, I'm cheating. Bending the rules. But is Kentucky Route Zero. I wanted to shout that out because I had a lot of fun podcasting about that. Like,
yeah, it was crazy.
I think I would have liked playing the game in itself, but I think podcasting about it just made it even more fun. You know, each week coming in and be like, okay, what the fuck's happening? and stuff like that. And then hearing people's thoughts along the way. Like, I felt like that was such a rewarding thing in itself. And the act of podcasting through it, I think, makes it even better. Like, I liked it in itself, but I think that just that experience was really enjoyable.
Yeah, it was really fun. It reminds me of, like, I feel like every episode, I never looked stuff up because I don't want to be spoiled, but it reminds me of, like, you see a movie that's really good, but it's kind of like a mind fuck, and you're like, you Google, like, okay, what is this movie about? What does this mean? It kind of felt like that every episode, because, like, what's happening? We would talk about it and maybe have some suspicions about what's happening. I feel like we were wrong most of the time. Right. And people would write in and be like, I think it's this, or like this. And we're like, oh, okay, that adds more So it kind of felt like that each week.
Yeah, it did, which was super cool. I really liked that. I think that podcasting really like amplified that or made that even more enjoyable. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was cool, and that was something that kind of stood out from this year for me.
Yeah. Yep. It was really fun.
Yeah. All right. We can pass it then to listeners, see what they have to say. First up, we've got Alyssa on Twitter who says, as I tend to keep replaying my favorites like Dragon Age or Fallout, the list of new games for me are mostly short, but my top 4 new, or at least new to me games, in no particular order are Greedfall, Life is Strange True Colors, Resident Evil Village, and Resident Evil 7.
I heard the Resident Evil Village game, and I'm not sure if it's Resident Evil 7, but there was one that came out this year or last year. It was really fun. I've actually never played one of those games, but they look kind of scary, so I don't know if I want to.
I was going to ask you if you'd ever played them. I've never played them either. But I'm interested. People really like these new ones, it sounds like, because they remade...
They remade one that was...
I think 2 and 3, maybe.
I think they remade the best one in people's mind. And then, put on the PS4.
Yeah, because I think Resident Evil 2 got remade a couple years ago. And I think that even went up for, like, Game of the Year awards. Like,
wow, as a remake. That's crazy.
People, like, loved it. And then I think they did it again, and then I think Village is just new.
Yeah. It might be the newest one.
I think it is. I think that might have came out this year.
Is that the one with the vampire?
The big lady?
Yeah, everyone's...
the memes?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is.
The big lady?
I saw a lot of memes relating to that.
Yes, I did too.
But... Resident Evil. Maybe we'll have to check it out sometime.
Yeah.
I guess this would be a good question to throw out there. If there's a Resident Evil game that we should start on, that would be a good entry to the series, where should we go?
Yeah. That's a good question. I would be interested. I would definitely play it. I mean, there's so many games that it's successful. They keep making them.
Right, yeah. It seems like people really love them, and I feel like that's something I want to get better at in general, is like getting into franchises I have never done, like played at all. Is like I want to at least try one to kind of see what it's about, because if it's a franchise, that means a lot of people presumably like it because they keep making them, and they must be making enough money to keep going. Like also our first Life is Strange True Colors shout out, which we will see many more as
I'm sure we will.
So very cool.
Yep, awesome. Next up is Nikki on Twitter. She said, favorite? What? How could I possibly pick between God of War, The Outer Worlds, The Witcher 3, Life is Strange True Colors, Death Stranding, and Hades? So a lot of those I have played. Death Stranding, I've heard a lot about that. I remember I kind of I threw a lot of shade on it when it first came out because it just seemed like literally a walking simulator. Mm-hmm. But like a AAA walking simulator. So it's kind of like, what? But it sounds way more in depth and weird than that.
Yeah, it seems very, very strange.
And pretty well liked too, I think.
I think so. I think that once maybe a lot of people or a loud group of people or whatever it is who are like, this is stupid and I hate it, I think that it did kind of cross to the other side of, oh, this is like good. Like I think this year they released a like director's cut. So I mean enough people must have liked it to release a somewhat different version. Or
it got a lot of awards.
Did it?
Yeah.
It sounds like it's a pretty good game.
Yeah.
I was intimidated by it because of it being so long.
Yeah. Norman Reedus is in it, cool, which is pretty cool.
Right. I mean, I think him being in it made me interested. Mm-hmm. And then as I learned more, I was like, this is so weird. I don't know if I want to do this. And then I heard it was really big. And so then that was like, I don't know if I want to like dive into that, because if it's super weird and really long, I don't know if I'm ready for that. But yeah. I do feel a little more capable of taking on big games after playing Red Dead 2.
Well, I feel like that game's probably bigger.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure that Death Stranding's bigger than Red Dead.
Yeah. This reminds me. The only thing I think I wouldn't like about it is the shameless advertising. They have like a monster. I think the game, I might be wrong here, but the game opens with like a fucking, like just a full frontal of a can of Monster, and then from there you drink Monster all the time.
That's funny.
Yeah. It's like, come on. But I guess that's smart, if you're trying to get some money for your game, throw in an advertiser.
Right, yep, that's true. But yeah, also from her list, a couple we played. I played God of War, played Outer Worlds, Life is Strange True Colors. I know you've played Witcher.
Mm-hmm. In Outer Worlds.
Yeah, and Outer Worlds. Yeah.
I think I have your God of War game.
Oh.
I will eventually play it.
Yeah.
Unless you want it back right now.
No. You can.
It's mine now.
Yeah. Awesome. That's great. Next up is Control Alt Noob on Twitter. Said my 3 favorite are The Binding of Isaac, 428, Shibuya, Scramble, and Bug Snacks. 3 very widely different games, but I loved each for different reasons. Have you Bug Snacks? Have you heard of that?
No, I've only heard of The Binding of Isaac.
Okay.
I'm intrigued by 428 Shibuya Scramble. That sounds really fun.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either, actually.
What's Bug Snacks?
I think it's a bunch of, like, cute bugs, and I don't think you eat them, but I think that I think that you maybe, like, the bugs are eating, and it's sort of like you have a little island that you inhabit. I don't know. This could be totally wrong. I just imagine it being something like a Pikmin kind of thing.
It kind of looks like that based on the picture.
Yeah. So I don't know. I've heard it's fun though. It seems like sort of a fun, like, silly, cute game that people enjoyed.
So here's the premise of the game.
Okay.
Bug Snacks is an adventure game developed by independent game studio Young Horses. In the game, players explore the mysterious island and attempt to find and capture the half bug, half snack creatures. So they're half bug, half snack.
That's great.
So one's an ant, and it's also part potato chip, and the other one's a butterfly, and it's also part chocolate chip cookie or something like that.
Oh my god!
That sounds really goofy, really
That's
fun.
amazing. That sounds fun.
Yeah, it reminds me of like Animal Crossing mixed with like Pikmin. Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah, it does.
I might have to check that out. Like, that seems like it would be kind of a fun, different game to play.
It's like, they're just straightforward. Half bug, half snack.
Yeah.
They don't have some weird name for it.
Half bug, half snack. I like that a lot.
Awesome. Okay. Daniel on Twitter said, Nier Replicant, Days Gone, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Ghost of Recon Wildlands, and Lost Words Beyond the Page. Is Nier Replicant, is that like the sequel to Nier Automata or whatever?
I think it's a prequel, but it's
came
new,
out.
but
Yeah.
it's newer though. I think it might have came out this year.
Interesting.
But yeah,
I never played the first one, but it seems like it's widely regarded as one of the best RPGs.
yeah, same. I haven't played it either, but I would like to because same reason. It sounds like it's a fantastic game.
Mm-hmm.
So if the sequel's getting love, I can only imagine it's great too.
Yep.
Or a prequel if it's that.
Prequel, second game.
Yeah, second game.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, we've got Rebecca on Twitter said, I've been on a visual novel mystery kick since late last year. Slowly catching up on Danganronpa. I always read that, but I don't remember how to say it.
Danganronpa?
Yeah, that sounds right. And Ace Attorney series have been my major new-to-me gaming obsessions of 2021, namely Trigger Happy Havoc and the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles from each respective franchise. I've heard that the Ace Attorney games are pretty fun.
I've actually never heard of them.
I think that it's like an 8-bit lawyer kind of thing.
It's like a what?
Like it's 8-bit looking, at least on the cover I've seen, but you're like a lawyer?
I love 8-bit games.
Yeah, I think I don't know if that's what it looks like, but that's the cover I've seen at least.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I've heard they're good. I've seen them like pop up online a little bit.
Maybe I'll have to try that. Yeah, I just love. They're like throwbacks to me. They're really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But Casual Opinions said It Takes Two, absolutely phenomenal. I've not heard of that either.
This game looks really cool. It won Game of the Year actually the other day.
Oh,
which is wild.
Wait,
But
for this year?
yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it is like a co-op, and it's made by the people who made A Way Out, and so it's like their next game, kind of doing the same thing where you both play together and all of that. But it sounds like it's like super good.
Is it an indie game?
It's sort of indie the way that like A Way Out is indie. Like,
yeah.
I think it's an indie studio that gets some money from EA, but I don't think EA like owns them. But I think it's sort of like a. If you're EA,
well, that's awesome. It got Game of the Year. Like,
yeah.
Go that studio.
Oh yeah, huge, big for them to get that. But it sounds like it's a good game. So I feel like I don't know. Maybe someday we should finish A Way Out, but also maybe we should play this.
Back to back.
Yeah.
I forgot we started that like 2 years ago.
Yeah, pre-COVID.
Yeah. guess we have an excuse. COVID kind of ruined a lot of things.
Yeah, that threw it off for quite a while.
Yeah, least of which are game.
Game we were playing.
Don't care.
Yeah, less bad.
Yes.
Laura on Twitter wrote in and said, I would say Hades, Concrete Genie, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, Mafia, and the new Guardians of the Galaxy game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I've heard that was pretty good.
I have too. I was thinking about getting it. I don't like, it's a game that, I love Guardians of the Galaxy, I love Marvel. But you have like a party, it's all the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
You kind of control them as Star-Lord. You kind of tell them what to do in a fight. It's more, it's better than that. That's like a loose description of it. But games like that are hard for me. I want to control one person and just play like that.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah. But I heard it is really good.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And Ratchet and Clank is great. I've played a few of those.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you played the new one?
No. The newest one that I played was like they remade the first one.
Oh, okay.
That was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yep. Lord Stang on Twitter said, FFVIIR intermission. Don't know what that is. Sounds crazy.
Final Fantasy VII Remake in it?
Okay, thank you, Dan.
I think they might have
okay.
upgraded it for PS5.
Ooh, maybe I'll try that.
Because I think they came out with the remake last year or 2 years ago on PS4.
Okay.
But I think they did do an update for PS5, so I'm guessing that's what that is.
Well, I'm glad you could interpret that. All right. Final Fantasy VII Remake intermission. Life is Strange True Colors and Detroit Become Human and Erica. So 2 of those games I've played, and 2 of them are really good.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Chef Nia on Twitter said Life is Strange True Colors, Batman's Telltale, and then Detroit Become Human and Wolf Among Us.
Ooh,
so,
nice.
A lot of games that we have played and enjoyed.
Oh, yeah. Thomas on Twitter said, I just finished Guardians of the Galaxy. The 4-year-old game by Telltale, that is, not the new one. That's funny. I was expecting it to be a fun space romp, but it crammed a lot of emotional moments in, too. If it wasn't for Life is Strange, it might even be my top story-driven game. Wow.
Yeah.
That's, I didn't know they made that, and it sounds good.
Yeah, that's huge praise. When I read that, I was like, all right, I need to move that up my list.
Should probably play that at some point.
Right, because I love playing Telltale games. And I feel like on my mind, I've heard Tales from the Borderlands is pretty good. I know people like the Batman ones. So those ones were kind of more, if I played a Telltale game, maybe I'd do one of those. Mm-hmm. But hearing this, maybe Guardians needs to jump all of those.
I mean, if you're saying that it's up there with Life is Strange based on story, like it's a high praise.
Right. There. Yeah, that's big. Mm-hmm. For someone who likes Life is Strange, I'm like, okay, maybe this is going to be more what I'm looking for.
This will do it for you.
Yeah. That's great. Ludo Narrative FM on Twitter said, a non-2021 game that really stuck with me was Paradise Killer. Nice.
Yeah. Morgan on Twitter said, Horizon Zero Dawn was a masterpiece. I still need to play that.
Yeah, you got.
I guess finish it.
Yeah, you got to finish that.
Yeah.
I agree.
Of course you do.
Yeah, I know. Big stan.
Yeah.
I am a Life is Strange stan also, but Horizon stan.
Yeah.
Even more. Callum on Twitter wrote in Life is Strange True Colors and Nights into Dreams for me. I didn't know what Nights into Dreams was, so I looked it up, and apparently it's a game, maybe like an SNES game or something from like 1996. So I don't know if they got an emulator or it got re-released or something. But
that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I was like, that's cool. That's
a serious throwback.
Yeah, that's like a major throwback. So I thought that was pretty cool of a thing, because usually like whenever I do these, it tends to end up being games that are more recent. But that would be pretty cool to have like a pool of like, oh man, I played Pokemon Red for the first time or something, and be like, and that's one of my favorites I played this year or something. Like that would be cool. But I thought that was interesting.
It's awesome when a game from that long ago could be someone's favorite game. That's great.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Jacob on Twitter said both of the Batman Telltale games.
Nice.
So maybe add them to the list.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely on there. Let's Play Baseball on Twitter said played through most of the Borderlands series this year. Beat 1, the pre-sequel, and 2, not in that order. I started 3 and Tales from the Borderlands. Always had heard good things and got immediately hooked.
It's just year of Borderlands.
Yeah, big Borderlands year for him.
That's awesome.
You like Borderlands, right?
I do, yeah. I played 1 and 2.
Okay.
Yep, 1 and 2.
Nice.
Like back on Xbox.
Yeah, I was going to say
360, maybe Xbox One. I forget when Borderlands 2 came out. No, it was 360, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Oh, I left this person's name off. This is from Tom.
Oh, glad you know. All right. Tom said The Last of Us Part 1 and 2, and then an emoji of tears of joy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just going to read that to you. You can picture it. I totally slept on those games. Also, Moons of Madness.
Nice. Yeah, I forgot to
Way to go, you butchered that one, Dan.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Yeah, I know. I left it out Tom's name, and I accidentally left in the description of the emoji because for some reason when I copy paste into my doc, it reads emojis as what they are.
Yeah.
So I try to cut them out because sometimes it'll say heart, glistening heart.
You're like, huh?
Yeah.
Games?
So I take out all of them so it doesn't get confusing.
Yeah.
But I missed one.
That's okay. Well, now I explained the emoji, so everyone can picture it.
Yeah, joy face. Mm-hmm. It's great. Face for hosting wrote in, actually, before I read theirs, playing Last of Us 1 and 2 for the first time this year, that's great. I feel like that'll be a great year.
Especially back to back. You don't have to wait. You can just jump right in the second one.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I have one of my friends is just beat Last of Us Part 1 like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
And they just started Last of Us 2.
Oh, wow.
So
that's awesome.
You're in for a treat, my friend.
That's great. Oh, man.
And kicking the nuts.
Yeah, no, heavy games. That's awesome. That would be cool to play those. And have them both in a year. That'd be cool.
Oh, yeah.
Face for hosting, though, on Twitter said, Oxenfree, very underrated game.
Oxenfree was great.
I agree.
One of our first games you ever podcasted on.
Yep.
The second one, I think.
I think first. I think we did that and Life is Strange at like the same time.
Okay.
But yeah, so early podcast. Huge throwback. Awesome game. Very cool.
Mm-hmm. Aaron on Twitter said, right now it's a tie between Control and Mass Effect Andromeda. An odd couple to be sure, but I enjoy both immensely. I've heard Control is really good. I've never played it, but it sounds like it's a really fun game.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of great things about it. I'm hoping to play it this next year.
Nice. Is it for PS4?
Yeah. Cool. Yep.
Nice. Maybe I'll pick it up too.
Yeah, you can, I got a, complete edition bundle or whatever a little while ago for, $12 or something on sale.
Nice. That's a steal.
Yeah. So, if you end up watching for the sales, you can definitely snag it.
Yeah, it's like one paycheck.
Yeah. Dakota on Twitter wrote in and said, Spider-Man Miles Morales, the Mass Effect trilogy, Final Fantasy VI, and Grandia. So that's a big year of gaming. We played Miles Morales a while ago. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a great game.
Yeah, and getting to play all of Mass Effect this year, that's great.
Yeah.
I think that would be really enjoyable if you just managed to just kind of blitz it and get it all. I think that would be nice since it's, designed as a trilogy, so to be able to do it all together, that sounds super nice.
Get past the tank handling from the first game and never look back.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. No Mako.
Yes, no thank you. Jesus, or Jesus. What is it, Jesus?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jesus on Twitter. Hellblade, which is a great game.
Yeah, I've heard Hellblade's fantastic.
Jesus tweeted at us. He said Hellblade.
That's funny. I like that.
That's really funny.
Next up's Cal on Twitter said Visage.
I've heard of that, but I don't remember what I've heard about it.
Yeah, same, actually.
And finally, Gnome on Twitter said Splinter Cell, Phantom Doctrine, Miles Morales, Alan Wake, Portal 2, the Portal 2 campaign. Portal's really fun. I played the first one. It's just great.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The gameplay is really fun too. I mean, it's simple enough. You shoot a gun that has a portal thing and you jump through them, and it's like a puzzle game.
I was gonna say it's actiony because you shoot your puzzle with a gun, but you you essentially puzzle your way through things.
Yep. It's and there's a little more to it than that. I don't want to give it away, but it's fun.
That's cool. I've heard a lot of good things about Portal. Mm-hmm. I played Alan Wake a while ago, earlier this year, and I enjoyed that too.
Yeah, I played that 15 years ago.
Yeah, I think probably when it came out.
No, 12 years ago. Oh, they're making a second one too.
They are?
Yep.
Yeah, very cool. Awesome. Well, okay, that wraps us for favorite games we played for the first time this year. We'll next move into our favorite game that was released this year. Do you want to go?
Sure. This kind of makes sense. Life is Strange True Colors, because it was my top 3 I've played this year. So, yeah. It was a lot of fun. I think that it's the game that stood out the most to me this year that I played. as far as games that came out this year. And it is, like I said, a good throwback to Life is Strange 1 and Before the Storm and stuff like that. I think they nailed a lot of like the character connection, and the music was cool, the scenery was sweet, just a overall like A+.
Nice. Awesome. Mine was surprisingly not that. Instead, Emily is Away 3, or Emily is Away Heart, comes in at my number 1 spot. I think it was pretty close. I think kind of the reasonings that had me tip Emily is Away ahead over True Colors are, I think that for me, I felt more emotionally impacted by Emily is Away. I felt like some of the hits hit a little harder there for me.
Yep.
So that's kind of stood out in my mind. And then I liked both soundtracks, but I think I might listen to the Emily is Away one a little more.
Well, is it a soundtrack? I forget. Or like,
well, it's
you can
like
play people
you play YouTube videos.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Or whatever.
Yeah. This game, well, this is the third one, obviously, because it's Emily is Away 3 or Heart. But each one of these, I feel like it really encapsulated the time that, I don't know how to put it. It's like the first one was AIM chat. The second one was also that, actually.
Yeah.
And then this one was like Facebook.
Yeah.
So it really encapsulated that. I remember that, yeah, thinking, this is exactly how Facebook was when I first got on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt just like that. So I think that those things just really like pushed it up there for me of, I really like this. And it's just like stuck with me through the year of like, I really like this game. And so I think it just beats out True Colors a little bit.
That's fair.
By that. I think also, this is a Dan problem more than anyone else, but I'm mad that I accidentally deleted my True Colors save file, but that there's not a way to play the DLC unless you complete the game. I don't want to play the game again, and they haven't updated a patch to let you play the DLC.
I'm in the same position.
Yeah, you're in the same.
I think I deleted my Horizon Zero Dawn save file.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I cleaned my shit out thinking it wouldn't. Whatever. Our problems, first world problems. My save game's gone. Fuck.
Yeah, exactly. It's like no one's problem, but I think that's kind of left a bad taste in my mouth of that. Like, I paid more money for this DLC and I can't play it, and like, sure, it's partially my fault because I accidentally deleted it, but also back at launch day, the files were getting saved over by the DLC in itself, and so if you stopped, it wouldn't let you play the DLC because it would say, you need to complete the game before you play the DLC, but the DLC saved over your save file. So that sucks, So I think that sort of has a bad feel in my mouth a little bit of like, largely when I think about this game, I think, wow, that was my favorite episode we've recorded. I liked all these things. Then I also think, I want to play Wavelengths and I can't. And that makes me mad.
That's fair.
Which, again, personal problem. True Colors very much so gets second place of the games I played. Actually, also, House of Ashes, the latest Dark Pictures. That was a game that came out this year. And they really righted that series. That series is on point. That's a good one, too. I think that would be sort of third place for new games that I've played this year, which I haven't played a lot of those, but True Colors is good. Emily's Away just narrowly beats it out for me.
That's fair. That game was a lot of fun, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I really liked it. Also, it was pretty cool that, like, we got a free review code for it and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool, just of an experience, like getting a game for free that I wanted to play and would have paid money for, but like that, could reach out to them and like, yeah, you can have a review code. Like, that was a cool experience as a person. So I think that probably the outside of the game things, the True Colors gets a negative for the save stuff, and then this one gets a positive for, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Inside the game still, though, Emily is Away still wins out in a close race. But, yeah, both awesome games.
Oh, yeah.
All right, on to listener feedback for this one. First up, we've got Nikki on Twitter said, so definitely Life is Strange True Colors, since it's the only game I played that came out this year, unless I get to count Mass Effect Legendary Edition as a loophole, since that came out this year as well.
Yeah, I'd count it.
Yeah, it seems fair as a loophole.
Remakes or remasters, remakes, whatever. That counts.
Yeah, I feel like that can count for sure, too. So,
yeah.
Either one is your winner, then.
Yep. Alyssa on Twitter said, I loved Resident Evil Village, but Life is Strange True Colors hit me on an emotional level like only Life is Strange can. Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm sure Resident Evil doesn't. hit all those buttons or check all those boxes either.
Just fear.
Yeah, just one emotion, fear and paranoia. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm screaming.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah. Do you want to continue? On Twitter wrote in, said probably Resident Evil Village. So more love for that.
Oh yeah. Snowman on Twitter said my two favorite games of the year are Life is Strange: True Colors and Guardians of the Galaxy. So another Life is Strange.
Nice. I'll do these together, I guess. Okay. Kathy on Twitter and Callum on Twitter both wrote in and said Life is Strange: True Colors. So more True Colors love, which is great. I like seeing how many people love that game.
Mm-hmm. Daniel on Twitter said Near Replicant.
Nice. And then last up, John on Twitter said Control Ultimate Edition, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, Knockout City, Worms Rumble, Pokemon Unite. So it's either PlayStation titles or Switch titles for me this year. I guess I'll go with Bowser's Fury as my official number one.
That's cool.
So yeah, that's cool. I thought that was kind of fun to see, and yeah.
What's Super Mario 3D World? Is that like Paper Mario? I think
3D World might be that like 3-pack that came with maybe like Super Mario 64 and 2 other games. I think I might be wrong though.
Interesting. Maybe I'll pick that up.
Yeah, that might be what it is. I think that there's a Paper Mario that came out in the last year or two. Like
yeah, there's a Switch version for sure.
Like Origami King or something. That's maybe what it's called.
Yeah, it might be the newest one. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I think they did. Switch just put the 64 Paper Mario on their like Switch Online thing.
Oh, nice.
That they do. How they've got like the bigger internet version you can buy. Like.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, because I think they have like your basic internet one that's like you get internet or online gameplay or whatever, and then the SNES and NES. But then there's like a boosted version that costs more money.
Of course.
But it has 64 games on it.
Okay.
Paper Mario is one of them. They don't have a lot yet.
I like Paper Mario.
But I think they have maybe like 12 games, but I think it's kind of your big ones you'd want. Like some of the Zelda or Mario's.
That's cool.
That stuff. Like I think like Smash and Mario Tennis and Mario Kart.
Mario
and
Tennis.
That stuff.
Speaking my language.
Yeah, I loved that game.
That game is so fun.
I wish I still had that. But I played a lot of Mario Tennis growing up on 64.
Yeah, they came out with one for GameCube. Not as good.
No.
And maybe Wii. I don't know.
I think there's one on Switch too.
Ooh.
Which I haven't played. I don't know if it's good.
It'd be a fun game to own.
Yeah, I don't know if it's good. I want to like try it before I buy it because like maybe it wouldn't be good, and then I don't want to spend $60 to find that out.
That's fair. Yeah.
But maybe I want to try to get it from the library or something to be able to like.
Can you get Switch games from the library?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you should do it. It's
nice.
Great.
It's
a great way to find out if you want to buy a game.
That's fair. Yeah.
I do it for Switch games all the time because they're always expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't really lose their value.
Right. So like, I tried out Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I got that from the library to try it out, and it was pretty fun. So I think I'm gonna buy it sometime.
Oh nice. What kind of game is that? Is it like a?
Yeah, it's kind of like XCOM, from my understanding. But it's pretty fun. You have like a squad where it's like you and 2 other people. They have certain abilities, and you're trying to like take an area.
That's cool.
By like blowing the rabbits up.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's silly.
Stupid rabbits.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's silly. But yeah, library tip: if you live somewhere that has a library that has games, definitely take advantage. You should check if you don't know. I was surprised that my library had them.
Yeah, that's awesome. I did not know that.
And you can order them to go to the library by your house, so you can pick them up. So you don't even have to like go to the specific one. So
that's smart.
Yeah,
it's a hack. It's a life hack right there.
It is. It's super helpful. Okay, that wraps up though. Favorite game released this year. Finally, eyes towards the future. 2022 release that you're most excited for. So how about for you?
I'll go. Elden Ring.
Okay.
So I'm sure you've heard about it. It's like the Dark Souls creator, same studio, same guy, but it's their first open world game. And I've seen a little bit of the gameplay. I'm trying not to spoil it too much. And it looks really fun. It has the same feel of Dark Souls and Demon Souls and stuff, which are maybe my favorite series. It's up there, top 3. So yeah, the minute I heard open world game, check that box. And then same feel as Dark Souls, check another box. Like I'm all in. So I think that comes out It's been pushed back a few times. I think it's late February now.
I think you're right.
But I'm for sure going to pre-order it and buy it.
Yeah, no, it sounds awesome. I know people are pretty hype about it.
All you.
My number one is what you'd expect it to be. Horizon Forbidden West.
Big surprise. Dan, talking about Horizon.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Can't stop. Super pumped. Can't wait. That's also coming out in February.
Okay.
So I think a lot of people are...
January? Oh. I'm thinking of Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah, so people are going to have busy Februarys. Also, it seems like, I wonder if this year, like we commented on, having a little bit sparser of a year. I almost wonder if all these games were held back a little bit to give people time to have consoles.
Yeah, or just COVID might have pushed back development. I know that fucked a lot of shit up.
Yeah, that's like a real thing for sure. So it did do that. But I kind of wonder if it's like, well, let's polish our game more. Let's keep making it better. Because if people don't have a PlayStation or an Xbox or whatever... I mean, who cares if it comes out day one?
Yeah, you're going to lose money because you're not going to go sell as many copies.
Yeah, people won't be able to buy it as much, so let's wait a little longer so that more people will have PS5s or whatever. Because, like, I think for both of us, we didn't expect to have a PS5 yet.
No.
Like, I thought I'd be hoping to get one right now.
Yeah,
like that was
around Christmas time?
Yeah, that was sort of my anticipation, is I thought I'd have a hard time, but then... figuring it out on Twitter.
Yeah, and then you helped me figure it out on Twitter.
Yeah, it's a game changer. Be able to get it in July or something. But, yeah. So, anyway, mine's Forbidden West. Also, I want to shout out two other games. One, Pokemon Arceus. Pretty excited about that and interested to see.
Yeah.
Since it's like open world.
I am less excited now.
Really?
Yeah, I'm still going to buy it, I'm sure. But I've read some, like, pre-review reviews. They're kind of BS because they're just based on the trailers they've seen, what they know about the game. But people are kind of not as into it as I would have thought. Yeah, I think they're kind of calling it like... I think initially people were like going to compare it to like Pokemon mixed with Breath of the Wild, which sounds fucking great.
Right.
But now it seems more like an empty Breath of the Wild, potentially. Like there's not there's not a whole lot of details out there, so people are like all pissed for nothing, but I'm a little less excited about it after watching some reviews and reading some stuff.
Sure.
Still, I'm going to buy it. I love Pokemon. But, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get a day one now.
Sure, that makes sense. I don't think I'm a day oneer, but that's more about, like, I don't buy a lot of games day one or have played a lot of Pokemon either.
That's fair.
Yeah. I think that idea, right, of the open world Breath of the Wild thing, that sounds pretty intriguing. I have seen some comments like that about the world being, like, not as beautiful looking as it should be if that's what it's trying to do or whatever.
Yeah, or kind of empty, I think is a thing too. Like, there's Pokemon roaming around, but it doesn't... I mean, again, it's based on, like, a 5-minute trailer or gameplay demo. It's hard to really say, but it doesn't seem like there's much to do in it.
Yeah, so I'll be curious to kind of hear reviews. Like, I feel like hearing reviews, like, if they start coming out day one, then it's like, okay, I'll wait a week to kind of see what the consensus is, and then know if I should buy it or not.
Yep. That's probably what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And then probably still buy
Yeah,
it.
yeah, for sure. I bet it's at least pretty good.
Yeah.
Maybe people just want it to be the best game they've ever played. And
wow, yeah. Ideally, it's every game.
Yeah, but maybe that's too high.
Yeah.
Also, really excited about Oxenfree 2. Super pumped. I really liked when we played that game before.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And so to be able to jump back into that is really cool. And I think just exciting thing with, like, I think the game-wise, but also even exciting podcast-wise of, like, oh, man, like, we played that game and it was kind of a guess. I just had kind of looked for games that were like Life is Strange when we played it. And I saw that and I was like, cool, let's play it. And it ended up being...
Really fun.
Really fun, really good. Like, one of our first episode, all that. And, like, so to get to go back, super cool. I thought After Party was fun, but, like, I really like Oxenfree, so getting more.
Oxenfree, I think, was it was a better game, in my opinion. So I assume... Is it, like, same characters?
The trailer doesn't have them in it.
Okay.
But I don't know if that means they won't be there. But the trailer has some new characters.
Gotcha.
I also heard, actually, I haven't experienced this because I think they've mostly done it on Steam, but that some of, you know how, like, the radio was a big thing in that?
Yeah.
Apparently, they're changing some of the original game and adding radio transmissions that have to do with this game as sort of like early Easter eggs almost. So
interesting.
Yeah, it hasn't happened on the PlayStation 1 yet, but if they announce it does, I'm probably going to replay it to be able to like get re-hype kind of thing.
Might as well. It's not like was it 8 hours, something like that?
Yeah, it wasn't
6 hours.
Yeah, it wasn't big, so that'd be perfect. But
that's awesome.
Anyway, I know I cheated right there and had a couple shout-outs, but
yeah, you cheated every time so far. So
yeah,
that's all right. There's a lot of games.
Yeah, I felt like this one, it was hard to only have one.
Yeah.
I guess being excited about more than one thing's allowed. But it does feel like cheating if it's for Game of the Year or whatever. Favorite game this year, then you're like, well, I have 6.
Yeah, that's different. It's if you have one, it's like, all right, this is objectively it, but then here's these 2 or 3 that like I'm excited about. Just I want to talk about it while we're here.
Right.
That's fair to do.
Okay, first up though, for feedback, we've got Katie on Twitter who said, Horizon Forbidden West and Elden Ring. Elden Ring had the top spot, but these gameplay videos for Horizon Forbidden West are making me question.
Sure, so love to hear that.
Yeah, mix of us, though.
Yes, seriously.
Our top 2.
Katie, you are us combined into one person.
Right, exactly.
Soph on Twitter said, a few in mind for next year, Stray, Open Road, and The Day Before.
Open Road looks pretty cool. I feel like Stray would be a game you'd like. It's about a stray cat running through alleys.
Ooh, love cats.
Yeah, I know.
Love alleys.
Yeah, I feel like that would be your deal.
Oh, yeah.
Games on Groceries on Twitter said Starfield.
Oh, yeah. That's that game kind of makes me question whether I should get a new Xbox, but not going to do it. But I'm going to see how it goes first.
Yeah.
But it's
I guess it's one of those where if you don't get it, even for like a year, you might be able to get it at a better price and be able to then have kind of a backlog of Xbox shit you want to play, which would be great.
Mm-hmm. Or just get a gaming PC and play it.
Yeah, or that.
Which will never happen, but yeah. A guy can dream, can he? You know. All right, Alyssa on Twitter. Hellblade 2 and A Plague Tale 2. So 2 dark games. Hellblade 2. First game was fucking sweet. The second one, I assume, will be sweet.
I heard the trailers for it are really, really good.
Oh, I remember seeing the trailer. This was like the announcement trailer, so it was 2 years ago.
Sure.
It looked kind of crazy. It's like, all right, this feels just like the first game.
Yeah, I really needed to play that. I started it, but I only got like an hour in. I think I was playing it last year, but then I moved. And so I like stopped playing because I didn't game for a few weeks or something.
Yeah, got settled then.
I did really like Plague Tale, so I am very intrigued by Plague Tale. Nikki on Twitter wrote in and said, God of War Ragnarok, Oxenfree 2, The Life is Strange Remasters, something that's been pushed back a few times, the Lego Star Wars Skywalker. Also, I forgot to mention Horizon Forbidden West, so quite a few on there. I'm intrigued by The Life is Strange Remasters as well. I think those are coming out in January.
I would love to. Are they on PS5? Or are they on?
Yeah.
And PS4 and stuff like that.
Yeah. If you bought the Ultimate Edition, the $80 Life is Strange, you'll get them.
Okay, I don't know if I did that or not. I can't remember. I'll have to check.
You might have, because I think the DLC one was $70. So you might have spent. I spent the extra.
I think I probably spent the extra.
I spent the extra $10 because I was like, well, I don't know if I'll play the remasters right away, but I don't know that if I want them later, that I'm going to be able to get them for $10 or less dollars.
Probably not. I bet they're like 20 or 30.
Yeah.
Which is reasonable.
Yeah, totally reasonable. So I was like, well, I might as well just pay it all.
Oh, yeah.
Now.
Daniel on Twitter said, Life is Strange, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, Hellblade, the latest expansion of... What's that? Do you know?
I don't know what that is either.
SWTR? STOR? I'm sure it's an acronym.
Star Wars, I don't know.
Oh, wait. Sorry, we don't know what that is.
Yeah. You keep going.
All right, you're going to look it up? Thank you. We'll circle back to that one. Probably some new Star Wars game or games. Tiny Tina's Wonderland and Uncharted on PC.
Star Wars The Old Republic.
Oh. Fuck yeah.
That's cool.
I will... Yeah, they're... I don't know if that's the same as Knights of the Old Republic, because they're remastering that.
Oh, that does sound cool, too.
Yeah, 1,000% going to get that. And then, any new Star Wars games they make, too, anything like Fallen Order, I'm going to buy immediately, too.
Oh, it won't come out next year, but there was a trailer at the Game Awards for a new Star Wars game called Star Wars Eclipse, and it's made by the Detroit Become Human people.
Oh, no. Oh, wait. Really?
Yeah. So
wow. Is it like story-driven?
I guess so.
Interesting.
Most of it was like, just images building hype. Like you don't really know much, but I'm really curious what that will mean. Will it be like Detroit, where it's like QuickTime events and super story heavy, or are they going to make a totally different kind of game than what they normally make? Either one, it seems cool. Definitely interested. I'm also, as someone who's never played any Borderlands, I am kind of interested in Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Because Tiny Tina's Ashley Birch, who I, of course, like a lot.
Of course.
Also, Will Arnett's in it. I think he's...
really?
Yeah, I think he's one of the main characters. And so I'm like, all right, this seems like it's just me, like, goofy and weird and stupid.
Uh-huh.
And I'm kind of interested in that. Like, I don't think I'd be a day oneer, but it does have me wondering, I'm like, should I try out Borderlands? Because I've never played any.
Borderlands is really fun. It's kind of goofy and weird, too. It's like a RPG, shoot things, whatever, but... It's also goofy and sarcasm all over the place. It's great.
Yeah, it sounds like it's pretty funny, outrageous game.
Yeah. Man, if I had a PC, I would definitely play the Star Wars The Old Republic game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it looks like it's an MMO.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So, Daniel seems to be into Star Wars, which is great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ash on Twitter said Life is Strange Remastered.
Oh, yeah. Morgan on Twitter said Horizon Forbidden West, so there's another one of those. There you go.
Yep. Callum on Twitter said Horizon Forbidden West and Life is Strange Remasters are the ones I'm most looking forward to. Gotham Knights, which I'm also very excited for, but it's scheduled for a 22 release, but it doesn't quite have an official date, so that's cool. Mm-hmm. Both good.
Buncho Coconuts on Twitter said A Plague Tale Requiem, so I assume it's the second one.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I'm super pumped for that. Tom on Twitter wrote in Horizon Forbidden West and God of War Ragnarok. Also hoping against hope for Vampire the Masquerade's Bloodlines 2. So I guess it must be unlikely that will come, but really pulling for it.
I think that keeps getting pushed back.
Okay.
Oh, and last up, Caroline on Twitter said the Oxenfree sequel.
Nice.
So a lot of Oxenfrees on there. That's cool. Or maybe 2.
No, yeah. Oxenfree. It does seem like there's a lot of similar hype in there. Like a lot of Life is Strange Remasters, Horizon, all that stuff. So that's great. Definitely cool. Looking forward to these games as well. Mm-hmm. So cool. All right. That's a look towards games we're excited about. That's cool. Again, for all of these, thanks for writing in. It's fun being able to interact and see what people have enjoyed or are looking forward to. Mm-hmm. So last, to wrap out the show, we did have, 2 quick announcements to kind of, wrap 2021. So the first one being is that Jordan is going to go on a hiatus from the show for a few months.
A Rumspringer.
Yeah, a Rumspringer from the show of sorts. So I can let you tell you about that, I guess.
Yeah, so I am actually having a kid.
Woo!
A daughter in January, tentatively the 12th. We'll see. So yeah, obviously I'll be really busy with that for... Who knows? I mean, for the rest of my life, but specifically the first few months are the roughest, so I won't have any time to really play games.
Right.
Unless I do, then I'll be right back on, but we can't bank on that. So, yeah, I'll be taking a little break for, I don't know, a couple months maybe, but I will be back.
Yeah.
So, in the meantime, Dan's got some master plans going on, which I'll let him tell you about.
I do. So, very excited for you. Really cool there. But, yeah, with that in mind, I'm going to change the show over to a bi-weekly format right now. I feel like it's been, 3 out of 4 weeks kind of thing. And I don't think that that's probably that sustainable. It probably hasn't been for a while, so I feel like this is a good time to change to a bi-weekly show. The goal is going to be the first and third Tuesday of the month. Just do it that way. I imagine it'll be a mix of having guests on and some solo episodes, and Patreon will still come out each month too, so that's not going to go away. Mm-hmm. I'll still have those moving. But I think this will just kind of set the show up for being easy to go with. So those are some plans, but we wanted to kind of get those in front of you.
Yeah.
So they're not confused at the beginning of next year.
Why I'm not on for like 2 or 3 months?
Yeah.
Like, is he dead?
Yeah. What happened? Yeah, why that's the case, or if you're expecting things to come out most Tuesdays, because that what has been the norm. This will be the plan, but yeah, also we'll continue to update on that stuff as things go. But we wanted to throw that out there, and yeah, I guess that's the episode.
Yeah.
Cool. Well. Yeah, again, thanks for your support. Cool wrapping up year 4 of this.
Crazy.
I'm excited that next year will be, I think in March is the anniversary of the podcast. So in March, year 5 will officially start, which is crazy of doing this. I, again, haven't done a lot of things this long, so pretty cool.
Except lived.
Yeah, basically. So very cool. Again, thank you for all your support. If you want to rate us on iTunes or whatever, like we talked about up top, or support us on Patreon, like we talked about up top. Both of those would mean a lot. Your support is super helpful if you just want to tell a friend, whatever. Anything like that, be really helpful. We'd really appreciate it. Just getting to sharing games with all of you, and hopefully more people as time goes as well, is really cool. And yeah, our website's TheGreatestStoryEverPlayed.com. That has all of our old episodes on it, including a lot of the ones we've mentioned here today. Also, the previous award shows that we've done like this before, I think those are kind of fun to go back and kind of see what we enjoyed then. So maybe that would be something fun. But yeah, that's the episode, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, well, I'll see you in like months. Yeah, but yeah, later.
Later.